abounds in nature. They delight our senses. They leave an impression on the mind of a man. Man has developed an eye for the beauty right from the Stone Age. A person cherishes the beautiful moments. He remembers the beautiful things. Why? Because the soul gets steered by the external view of the beauty. Recollection of the impression becomes a constant source of joy. Hey everyone, I am back again to boost your senses with a beautiful poem, A Thing of Beauty is a Joy Forever by John Keats. So let's get going. A Thing of Beauty is a Joy Forever by John Keats. Let's boost our mind with this wonderful poem, rather one of the most beautiful poems in English literature. One can look at it from a very basic point of view to an extremely philosophical point of view. Before we begin, let's know about the poet John Keats, who is perhaps one of the finest poets in English literature. It is said that John Keats followed the traditions of the Romantics of 18th century. Writing poetry at that time was defined as spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. Now let's focus on the title. Focusing on the title, A Thing of Beauty is a Joy Forever, we find that it is almost like, in few words, putting the philosophy of Romanticism. Although this brilliant poet died in a very tender age of 26, yet it is said that if he had survived to live a full life, then the crown of English literature would have rested on his head, who is considered to be one of the landmarks of the Romantic period. This poem is an extract from Endymion, 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 a poetic romance, which is an allegorical poem. Allegorical poem contains both a literal and a symbolic meaning. This poem is based on a Greek legend, wherein a young shepherd and poet Endymion, who lived on Mount Latmus, had a vision of the moon goddess Cynthia, and he fell in love with her and was so determined to find her that he journeyed through the forest and down under the sea. Keats loved beauty to the extent of worshipping it, that regarded beauty as a heavenly drink. Now let's come to the actual text. I begin with the reading of the poem. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases, it will never pass into nothingness, but will keep a bower quiet for us, and asleep, full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. Therefore, on every morrow are we wreathing a flowery band to bind us to the earth, spite of despondence, of the inhuman dearth, of noble natures, of the gloomy days, of all the unhealthy and over-darkened ways, made for our searching, yes, in spite of all, some shape of beauty moves away the pall from our dark spirits. Such the sun, the moon, trees old and young, sprouting a shady boon for simple shape, and such are daffodils. With the green world they live in, and clear rills that for themselves a cooling covert make against the hot season. The mid-forest brake, rich with a sprinkling of fair musk rose blooms. And such too is the grandeur of the dooms. We have imagined for the mighty dead all lovely tales that we have heard or read, an endless fountain of immortal rain pouring onto us from the heaven spring. So that was the reading of the poem. Let's understand through stanza-wise explanation. Opening stanza says, a thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness, but will keep a bower quiet for us. Poet here says, anything beautiful, whether it is a beautiful face or a beautiful heart or a beautiful gesture or a beautiful act or a majestic scenic beauty, any beautiful thing, always gives us pleasure. It never fades up. And over a passage of time, its loveliness, its charm, its fascination will increase. Instead of fading out or becoming insignificant, this thing of beauty will keep a bower. Bower, that is a pleasant, shady place. Bower is a shady place. So how is this thing of beauty keeps a quiet bower for us children? In this poem, the poet primarily speaks about nature and bounties of nature. All of them captivate our minds and spirit. And we experience some rare and exquisite moments in their company, as they fill our minds with peace and tranquility. So these beautiful things, these beautiful moments serve as a quiet bower or a pleasant shady place for us, which provides us a shade not only from the blazing sun or torrential rain, but also from ugly side of life, to uplift our spirit, to bestow on us good health, peaceful sleep of sweet dreams, and make our lives free from anxiety and stress. Please focus on the words quiet breathing. You can see in the line, full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. A bower quiet for us and a sleep full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. Please focus on the words quiet breathing. When do we experience quiet breathing? When we are calm and restful. So this bower will ensure that we are at peace. Like mother's lap for a baby is a bower, isn't it? Because baby derives a decent security there. But poet here feels when you are in cozy lap of the nature, you also experience a bower for yourself, because it gives good mental peace and physical health. Now let's come to the next stanza. The next stanza begins with the line, therefore on every morrow are we reading. Therefore, on every morrow are we reading a flowery band to bind us to the earth. These lines convey that though life has despondency and disappointments, miseries and hardships, yet it is beauty which is created by God helps us to remove the sadness from our hearts. Why? Because it brings a glimmer of hope and joy which sustains us and helps us to enjoy life. Again, I read the line for you. Therefore, on every morrow are we reading a flowery band to bind us to the earth. Morrow here refers to morning. Morning. Poet says that every day it is the beauty which builds the desire in us to live, though there are cruel people around us. So you are finding over here that these lines are rich with imageries, depth of imageries. The flowery band is just a symbol, a flowery band to bind us to the earth. So this flowery band is just a symbol through which the poet wants to remind us of our duties towards nature. Making a flowery band means contributing towards the environment. Impact of nature is so profound that on every morrow, means every next day, we feel connected to this earth But then the poet is questioning here. Are we really connecting ourselves intensely with nature? Are we making an attempt to preserve nature? Are we cherishing its beauty and grandeur? And are we gathering memories which strengthen our bond with Mother Earth? So the poet is asking us that if nature is giving us a ready welcome, good health, are we adorning and decorating a flowery band to bind us to the earth? In fact, poet urges us to strengthen our bond with this cosmos. You can see the use of same word of noble natures of all unhealthy ways. So the same word of you will find of noble natures, of the gloomy days, of the inhuman dirt. So in 2 consecutive lines you will find the same word repeated. This indicates one figure of speech which is named as anaphora. You can also find use of alliteration, use of consonant sound at the start of 2 words which are close in series, like be in, band, to bind. N in noble nature, N. S in some, shape. Now let's go with the word reading. Therefore, on every morrow are we reading. Reading means weaving, surrounding, encircling a flowery band. The beautiful things of our life bind us to the earth. It also creates a sensory effect of beautiful things lined up in a string. A flowery band to bind us is also an imagery. In the line, are we reading a flowery band? You'll find that the normal order of words is reversed. And this is known as inversion. The word despondence. Despondence means depressed. So here at last you can find that every day we are renewing and strengthening our ties and connection to the earth. That's all from me today. Thank you very much for watching till the end. Please don't forget to tune in for the second part of the poem to understand in my next video. Remember to press the subscribe button and bell icon right next to it. Till then, happy watching.